Welcome to Jurassic World.
Welcome to Jurassic World Minute, where we visit Jurassic World 1 minute at a time. I'm Brad.
I'm Dave.
And here we are back to discuss Minute 64 of Jurassic World. Before we get to that, David, returning to Jurassic-Pedia.com, we have a lengthy article here up, much like the Stegosaur article from Tyrannosaur TJ on the Apatosaurus, as seen in this film and Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, this is another article that had gotten very, very much retrofitted by our contributor, Trout Formosus. This one was basically, when we started with it, kind of only covered the skeletal of the Apatosaurus that had been on Isla Sorna outside the worker village. For some reason, the DPG tends to ignore those. I mean, if you look at them, the bones that are on display at the Universal Studios backlot in Hollywood, they are matchable to the Apatosaurus skeleton, but again, the DPG chooses to ignore them, and I'm not quite sure why. They list the species as inactive, meaning it does not have physical clones that are counted among their cloned individuals, but yeah.
Well, I think that's more of Colin saying that the Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 doesn't have to exist for this new series. But
I don't know. I mean, but again, the DPG is a viral site. It's pretty much left up to Jack Ewens and his team's discretion what they want to include. They usually do kind of introduce a lot of kind of nods for the fandom, like the 7 T-Rex cloned. There's a nod to Trespasser.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's...
But, yeah, it's weird because according to the DPG, the report that was published of InGen's list that was revealed in 94 doesn't list the Apatosaurus as a living or dead species. They just say that they have the genome for it, but it's not been cloned.
Yeah, they've only got 57% of it or something. They haven't got a full map of it to start the cloning process or something. Which I'm pretty sure when we discussed it, I think the junior novelization for Lost World actually says an Apatosaur skeleton starts to stops, and then the metal pipes begin.
Yeah, same with the script, too. The script describes them as Apatosaurus skeletons littered around the raptor nest.
Damn, that's a shame. But anyway, we got a full write-up here. Animal size, the inclusion in Jurassic World. And it was good they had some juveniles in the petting zoo, because as we're about to see, their stock's being diminished by the Indominus at the moment.
Well, I do like that the juveniles are actually physically, unlike the Stegosaurus, are physically different from the adults, where the tails are kind of stubby, the neck is kind of stubby. It's not just a straight, basically, replication of the adult like the Gallimimus and the Stegosaurus are. The head is kind of lumpy, almost Chimerasaur like, which may or may not be a nod to the fact that Brontosaurus excelsius was originally described as such with the Camarasaur head.
Just looking here forward too, with Fallen Kingdom, apparently a total of 13 apatosaurs was seen near Mount Cebu, with a further 2 captured and transported off the island, so there should be 15 surviving. Again, at the size of 60 feet. 60 feet and 20 to 25 tons. I don't know how you get this into a shipping container onto the Arcadia, but we didn't see that.
I don't know how they stuck them in cages on the Lockwood Manor, but we see them among the dinosaurs escaping from the Lockwood Manor.
Yeah, that's going to be one to talk about when we get there. So yeah, head over to Jurassic-Pedia, jurassic-pedia.com. We've got a full write-up here on the Brachiosaurus, the Apatosaurus, and many more of the animals as well.
How's my park doing?
Great. We're up 2.5% over last year, a bit lower than our initial projection.
No. How is it doing? Are the guests having fun? Are the animals enjoying life?
Well, guest satisfaction is steady in the low 90s. We don't have a way to measure the animals' emotional experience.
Sure you do. You can see in their eyes, right?
Of course.
Okay. Now show me my new dinosaur.
All right, Dave, ready to go into 64?
I am.
Minute 64 of Jurassic World opens with the apatosaur taking its last breath and ends with a view over the Valley of Death.
A couple of short minutes. The last minute was short. This is going to be another short one too, because there's a lot of just interacting with the animatronic and crying. But as we continue into 64, we're still looking down at the dying apatosaur as its head hits the grass and Claire moves in to pat it once again. It takes 18 seconds with some moans, but finally the giant takes its last breath and we get a tear coming down Claire's cheek. I don't know if that's CG or if that's real. It's probably real. I've never been able to cry or have a tear come down on request, but I know a lot of actors can do it.
Yeah. Or it could just be like they put like eye drops in their eyes before doing a shot, and it's just the excess water in their eyes dripping down produces the effect of tears, you know?
Yeah, and we do get a cut just before this happens too, so... But Owen takes his hands off the animal's head and sits back for a moment. And then he looks up and notices something further away in the field. And he quickly stands and unshoulders his gun, walking towards the camera. And as he does, we get that sort of familiar mountain range in the background there that we've talked about before of Camp Cretaceous and Kalua Ranch. No, it's not the ranch. It's the other spot in the Waiahu.
Yeah, Kahili Ranch.
That's the one. Yep. But we cut to a low shot next to Owen's boots as he continues walking forward through the grass, and suddenly as the camera lifts up, Claire's right there following him, and we can see past him as we can hear the crows cawing, and we see another apatosaur lying dead in the field.
I mean, I know that they have a large grazing animal population, but it still kind of bugs me. Who's trimming the grass? It looks like a golf course.
Well,
it really does look like a golf course.
Yeah, I know if you've got cattle, sheep, goats, they'll keep grass low like this.
Yeah.
I don't know if Triceratops and Stegosaurs are eating the grass down this low, but I don't. Just going off the Pedia article before the Apatosaur, it described that the juveniles, when they were at the right size, would go to the petting zoo, and presumably they'd stay there until they got to a size where they'd be too big for the petting zoo and then be put out in the field. I could come up when we have the baby Triceratops in Fallen Kingdom, but I don't think we see any juveniles out in Gyrosphere Valley. It's a shame because we don't really see any more herbivores after this point either. We leave the valley with the dead apatosaurs, and I don't think we see any more for the rest of the film.
No. Littlefoot, do you remember the way to the Great Valley?
I just seen The Good Dinosaur for the first time the other day too.
Universal has a habit of making us cry over dying apatosaurs.
And this is the aftermath too. This is not they're already dead. It's not what we get in Fallen Kingdom 2 with the lava cloud and the brachiosaur there, but that's a different story.
Do you think Mattel will come out with a battle-damaged Apatosaurus?
I don't. Well, we're getting to a little spoiler for the minutes next week. We're getting a super colossal Apatosaurus. No, it's not super colossal. It's just a big Apatosaur like the Brachiosaurus. I don't know how many fans are going to go to that with a heat gun or something and put the cuts in it. I thought you were going to say a battle damaged Brachiosaur for Fallen Kingdom, but you could probably do that now. Just get the Brachiosaur on the barbecue and get the back legs to melt into a bit of a puddle.
No, I was just going to say like go into the fireplace and scoop out a pile of ash.
Oh.
Oh, we're being mean now.
Honestly, someone just selling jars of ash and saying, "Get your prop, dead Brachiosaurus." get that Jurassic logo, the Brachiosaur skeleton with the Nublar map behind it, and just put the sticker on it. Authentic Nublar Brachiosaur. Get yours today. I said last minute I'm not a very compassionate person. So I'm sorry. We probably just lost a heap of listeners. Oh, how mean! But we get that here too as the camera lifts up, continues to lift behind the characters as they're walking over the hill, and we can see a total of 5 dead apatosaurs here. There may be some more further off screen that we don't actually see, but Indominus had some fun here. Mm-hmm. And also like too, there's signs of the fight. It's not just the CG models laying on the grass. You can see the upturned earth and just where the fight's been going on in the field.
Yeah, she just went through slashing like dandelion heads. You don't see any blood anywhere, but you can just see, like you said, the upturned earth from where the Indominus and the Apatosaurus had been running. Is just, you can see that, like you said, the Indominus was having fun.
I find it weird they're all in the same spot. You'd think if she was attacking one, the others would be running away, but then I can't remember if it's Lost World or Jurassic Park now, we get the scene in there of the Apatosaurs rearing up, swinging their tails back and forth. Oh god, I might even be wrapped to red. I just remember a scene in fiction of Apatosaurs using that whip-like table, going backwards and forwards quickly over someone's head. I cannot recall.
Could have been walking with dinosaurs.
That's probably where it was. Which again, it would have made the film a lot longer and the CG budget a lot higher. But seeing this attack happen, even if it was off screen, hell, having it in Camp Cretaceous, it would have been a bit cheaper. But alas, it wasn't to be. Claire gasps as we get a shot of their faces, and we can see behind them with the first Apatosaur close by, so I don't know how they didn't see this when they pulled up in the G-Wagon before. And I just noticed, especially when Owen's seen it as he was kneeling down by the head, so he was a lot lower behind the hill than what the G-Wagon was. But alas, that's how the movie was plotted. Mm-hmm. And then we sort of get Owen doing his best Josh Brolin impression here. I think out of all his line delivery, this is sort of where I can see what Josh Brolin might have been, where he says it didn't need him, just the squint. And Claire puts her hands over her face in sadness as he spits out the other line that's killing for sport.
Which he should know that dinosaurs do that, because we see the raptors do that in the first movie. We see them hunting the kids and just kind of like getting off on the idea of terrorizing them before actually attacking them. There's a number of times where we can plainly see the raptors know the kids are in the kitchen and they're just toying with their prey. Yeah.
You could nearly say the same with the Lost World too, if just the way the raptors sort of circle the Ian, Kelly and Sarah in the village,
Mm-hmm.
where they're sort of just, it's almost like they're hurting him one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, the raptors are, in the first two movies, are sadists, so he should have an understanding that the dinosaurs are capable of this level of sadism. You know?
It also makes me wonder too, where he's on the island for the Ibris project with working with the raptors. If he's only comparing what's happening here to what he's learnt from the raptors, or if he's actually checked someone else's notes about how some of the other animals have been behaving on the island, whether he's seen a video or seen the Tyrannosaur in its enclosure or anything like that, or if he's just comparing to the raptors here. And if he's comparing to the raptors, then it should be starting to click that maybe some things are looking familiar here with what we learn about the Indominus later. But we get another wide shot here as the music begins to intensify, and we can see all 5 of those dead animals as the minute ends. Anything else on that before we get to novel comparisons?
No, I think we're good.
When the animal dies, Claire says, "Oh no, is she?" And Owen just nods and looks at the tree line, angry. And in the distance, they can hear a roar, so the Indominus isn't too far away. Which is sort of a weird one. When we see Owen get out of the G-Wagon, he's got his Marlin there, he's sort of prepared, or just in case, looking around just to make sure the area's safe. But you'd be really worried that it's still somewhere nearby.
Well, with the fences down, it could wander in and out of any paddock she likes.
Without that implant too, yeah. But Owen walks over a small hill and finds 6 more dead apatosaurs, and his eyes fill with rage. And that's when they return to the SUV and drive for the destroyed gyrosphere. It's going to take us a minute to get to. But Dave, that's been 64. Anything else to discuss before we get heavy for today?
I probably should have brought this up last minute, but there is that fencing that we do see in the background when they first pull the G-Wagon up, and I do like that they kept that fencing up on the ranch. That is kind of cool.
Yeah, I've got some photos I've put up on the Facebook group of that fence that there was left in location with the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this section here doesn't have the gate in it. That was part of something else. But I do have to laugh, especially this bit we see behind the G-Wagon last minute. The design, this industrial strength design of the fence is good for flat surfaces. But here where you have the rolling hills, they've just got like the sections straight, and it doesn't really allow. I suppose there's no juveniles in the field anyway, but some juveniles would get into mischief being able to get through some sections of this fence just because of the way it's set up on non-flat surfaces, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, check out the Facebook page for the photos on that, and we can continue the discussion there.
All right.